Hello, this is the video from the group 1. Please watch this video carefully and please don't sleepy or lose your concentration. Enjoy!
What is morphology? Morphology is the field of science that discusses basic words and affix. And the object of morphology is morpheme. What is morpheme? Morpheme is the most important of basic words. And morpheme is the smallest unit that carries information about the language and the function. There are two examples of morpheme. The first one consists of two morphemes, and the second one consists of a single morpheme. The example of consists of two morphemes is houses. Houses from the basic word house with the meaning dwelling and as with the meaning more than one. And the example of consists of a single morpheme is play. Play cannot divide it into the smallest parts. The next is free morpheme and bound morpheme. Free morpheme is just a simple word that has a single morpheme. It is free and can occur independently. What we have described as free morpheme fall into two categories. Thus, free morpheme are lexical morpheme and functional morpheme. The lexical morpheme is the morpheme that can stand alone but can convey content clearly. The example like boy, kind, study, and etc. The functional morpheme is the morpheme can stand alone but cannot giving the content clearly. The example like at, the, and, she, and etc. The next is bound morpheme. Bound morpheme is morpheme that cannot stand alone but must be bound or attached to other morphemes. The types of bound morpheme are derivational morpheme and inflectional morpheme. Derivational morpheme is morpheme which, if passed with another morpheme, will result a different word. In derivational, there are two kinds, namely prefix and affix. Prefix is in the beginning word, the example like impossible, and suffix in the end word, the example like smartly. The last is inflectional morpheme. Inflectional morpheme is modify a verb's tense or a noun's number without affecting the word meaning or class. The example like book, be books, and learn, be learned.
Hi, I'm Anggiya Wiguna, and this is my turn to explain about the next material. So, now we will talk about the suffixal homophones. Well, in suffixes, both inflectional and derivational, they are the forms of the homophones. Let's start with the inflectional morphemes. There are two types of inflectional morphemes. The first one is the derivational suffix er. This is attached to verb to the stem of the nouns, and also it's usually called as agent of er, and it conveys performed action of the verb stems. For the examples like from hunt to hunter, and from fish to fisher. But it may also attach to conveys the non-verbal stems. For the examples like from teenage to teenager. Okay, got it? Okay, let's next. The second type is the derivational suffix, which appears in the end of the word and conveys the meaning of the repetition. For the examples like Peter and chatter. Okay, we already know we get into the second form of the homophones. This is the verbal inflectional suffix ing. Well, it has two homophones. The first one is nominal derivational suffix, which is for the examples like meeting and wedding. And then the second one is adjectival morphemes, and the example is like a charming woman. Charming is used the suffix ing, but this is the adjective. Well, for information, there are two ways to know about the differences between the verbal inflectional and adjectival morphemes. Well, the first way is usually the verbal inflectional is occur after as before the nouns. For the example is like I saw a house burning, and the second example is like I saw a burning house. So the first sentence is I saw a house burning, which is the verbal inflectional is appear after the noun burning. Burning is the verbal inflectional. And then the second example is I saw a burning house, which is the verbal inflectional is appear before the noun. Do you got it? Moreover, adjectival morphemes can be preceded by a qualiverb like very, or superlative and comparative like more and most. For the examples like, it is a very comforting thought. Well, the second way is adjectival morpheme can occur after the verb seems, but it can be for the verbal inflectional. For the examples like, this snack seems interesting. Okay, now we move to the third form of the homophones. This is verbal inflectional D. Well, verbal inflectional D has the homophones in adjective morpheme. As in, adjective can be preceded by a qualiverb like very, rather, and quiet, or by the superlative and comparative like more and most. For the examples like, Helen was excited with her new job. And then the second example, she was a devoted mother. Also, the task of the verb seems is applicable for the adjectival D, but this is not for the verbal D. For the examples like, the very departed guest has forgotten their dog. And then the second example is, the guest seems departed. You can see the difference. Okay, that's all from me, and the next material will be explained by Kiki Styaningsih. Kiki, time is yours.
Next, about adverbial derivational. The adverbial derivational suffix is added to most adjectives to form adverb. It's divided to several. The first one is added to monosyllabic to form adjective that are inflected with er and es. It is like love and lovely. The second is added to nouns to form adjective that are inflected with er and est. It's like king and kingly. And the third is added to few adjective, giving alternate to adjective form that are also inflected with er and est. It's like dead and deadly. And the last or the fourth is added to a short list of time nouns to form adjective. It's like day to daily and month to monthly. The next material is about allomorph. Allomorph is a parent form of the morpheme about sound and phonetic symbol, but that doesn't change the meaning. Allomorph have a different pronunciation, spelling, and sound according to their condition. Allomorph consists of the first is past tense allomorph. In English, a past tense morpheme is ed. It occurs in several allomorphs depending on its phonological environment. In past tense allomorph include it after d and t. It's like head, and t after all other voiceless sounds like pick, and d after all other voice sound. It's like wedge. And the second is plural allomorph. The plural morpheme for regular noun in English is typically realized by adding s or es to the end of noun. The plural morpheme has three different allomorphs. It is like s, z, and es. For example, like bags. We can see that the symbol of plural allomorph, the morpheme s becomes es. And next is allomorph that made from article. It's like n and n. And next, or the fourth, is negative allomorph. In English, the negative prefix in has three allomorphs. It's like in, and im. It's like in word tolerant, we can see that the symbol of negative allomorph, the morpheme in becomes ing. And next example, in word incongruous, the morpheme in becomes in. And the last is lexical allomorph. The choice of allomorph is unpredictable, so you must memorize the word with the root word. It's like ox. If plural becomes oxen, and sheep if plural becomes sheep. And lexical allomorph have two types. The first is different allomorph. In different allomorph include s, z, and es or is. For example, like cats from s, dogs from d, bugs from is. And the last is same allomorph. In the same allomorph include this. For example, like disagree, discount,